welcome back to Naptime Liturgy. In this series, Short and Sacred, we're walking through all 150 Psalms one by one. The intent is not a deep dive or a study, but just a pure reading of the poetry and a few of my honest reflections. My hope is for a space for us to find a little rest in the middle of our days. Today we are resting with Psalm 16. Let's read. Preserve me, O God, for in you I take refuge. I say to the Lord, you are my Lord. I have no good apart from you. As for the saints in the land, they are the excellent ones, in whom is all my delight. The sorrows of those who run after another god shall multiply. Their drink offerings of blood I will not pour out, or take their names on my lips. The Lord is my chosen portion and my cup. You hold my lot. The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places indeed. I have a beautiful inheritance. I bless the Lord who gives me counsel. In the night also my heart instructs me. I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be shaken. Therefore my heart is glad, and my whole being rejoices. My flesh also dwells secure. For you will not abandon my soul to Sheol, or let your Holy One see corruption. You make known to me the path of life. In your presence there is fullness of joy. At your right hand are pleasures forevermore. This is the word of the Lord. As I read this, I'm definitely seeing that this isn't a lament. This is definitely like a praise psalm, putting your trust in God. The psalmist is saying, like, preserve me, in you I take refuge. I have no good apart from you. And so it feels like there is joy that's found when you place your trust and hope in God. And I think that might sound silly because you're like, all these bad things are happening in the world. How can I find joy? But it's because if you're placing your trust in the Lord, your joy isn't coming from your external circumstances, things that are ephemeral or can change. Your joy and your contentment is found in the security that you have in God, your faith in the Lord, in knowing that you are secure, that, what does it say later? My heart is glad, my flesh dwells secure, for you will not abandon my soul. You make known to me the path of life. Your right hand are pleasures forevermore. So you know that there's an eternal aspect. And so no matter what your circumstances are, if you have trust and faith in the Lord, you are secure. Your joy comes from him. In your presence, there's fullness of joy, which is just a beautiful. And there is this switch in verse 4. So the sorrows of those who run after another god shall multiply. So this idea of if you're chasing after another god, and in modern society, I don't think it's necessarily even other named gods. I think anything that you chase after can become a god in your life, if it's money or status or power or sex, drugs, rock and roll, any of those things that become so consuming in your life that's what you're seeking, placing your value as a human being, placing your worth, placing your contentment, whether you're seen in all these positive lights, your own self-perception can become a god to you. And if you're placing your faith in that, of course, all of those things are fickle. They can change. And so the sorrow, if you're running after those things, will multiply, because you'll end up feeling empty because your value cannot be placed in those long term. It's beautiful later, my chosen portion and my cup. Of this free will of choosing God as your portion, there's an effortful aspect to that. You can go with the flow, go with the passions of the world, or you can choose to put your faith, choose to have God fulfill your needs, choose to be content in that. And if you choose God, indeed, you will have a beautiful inheritance. And I think that inheritance is definitely, of course, alluding to Jesus Christ, especially when it talks about things forevermore, pleasures forevermore, fullness of joy, the path of life. He makes known to me the path of life. And there's only one path to life now, and that's, through Jesus Christ. He has opened up the fullness of joy to us through him and through his shed blood. You will not let your Holy One see corruption. So it's this confidence and contentment, being cared for by God. One of my favorite, I've shared it at least a few times before, but it's one of my favorite prayers from a book called Prayers from the Heart. And it's a prayer of relinquishment. And for me, there's this need to control. I feel like if I just perform to my best of my ability, then everything will work out because I can force the world to bend to my will. But it's this prayer of just saying, Lord, you can care for all of these things in my world better than I can. And so I'm going to give up control of that to you. Specifically, like care of my family. I relinquish that into your care because you care in ways that I cannot. And so I think this psalm is falling in lines with that of a confidence when you do relinquish control to know that God has you, that your portion in your cup, your inheritance is going to be full. Even if it's not in current circumstances, it will be in the end because God has promised that for his people. And of course, if I think about things that are feeling like they're written just for me in this moment, it's definitely the in your presence there's fullness of joy. The word joy just has a lot of meanings to me. It seems to kind of pop up in my life and in a variety of different ways. And so finding joy in my life, regardless of what's going on, and knowing that in God's presence, that's where I find my true joy, definitely resonates with my heart. As we read Psalm 16 today, was there any word or phrase or verse that felt like it was written just for you? Feel free to share it in the comments below so that we can meditate on it together. And thank you for joining me for this short and sacred reading. And I will meet you back here for the next psalm. Grace and peace.